People always say that the fourth discipline of triathlon is nutrition, but I actually think the fourth discipline is packing. Doing a triathlon takes an insane amount of packing, so I thought it might be interesting for me to kind of go through what I'm packing for nutrition and show you what I'm planning on having during the race. So when it comes to before the race, I'm going to be focusing on reflux friendly, high carbohydrate foods. So nothing that includes anything in terms of a reflux trigger like chocolate. I'll have a little bit of caffeine because I can tolerate caffeine now, but I will not have more caffeine than I normally do, and I'll probably just be having some plain oatmeal. These are literally just like the Sprouts maple brown sugar oatmeal with added sugars, because we actually want to be getting about 100 grams of carbohydrate before this triathlon. We are doing, Nick and I, the Olympic distance, so it's not crazy long, but you do need to be getting a good amount of carbohydrates, probably around 100 grams before the race. So I'll have an oatmeal packet, I will have a banana, probably some honey as well, maybe like 2 hours before start time. Also packing a ton of little things to munch on along the way. So I've been loving these Solely mango sticks. The only ingredient is organic mango, and it gives you about 20 grams of carbohydrates per serving. So this is great. Only 1 gram of fiber. Another thing to be mindful of when you're doing an Olympic triathlon, or if you're doing any sort of endurance event, is fiber. You don't want to be getting too much fiber before the race, or even the night before. So tonight our meal will probably consist of mostly carbohydrates, and I'll take you along with me. We're going to pick up the rental car, pack the car, and drive to Napa, and I will take you along with me with what I'm eating. So I'm going to probably have one of these, and I also love the honey stinger waffles. These are great, really easy on my stomach. I probably will have one of these either before the race or after the swim before I hop on the bike. The other option, if I feel like it, is one of these Morton bars. These are basically just like oat bars. So I will either do one of these after the swim as I'm getting on the bike. I can take in more nutrition while I'm on the bike versus on the run. So obviously you can't take in nutrition when you're swimming. So the intervals to take in nutrition during the triathlon is going to be in the transition from the swim to the bike, on the bike, and then maybe a little bit during the run, but I'm going to primarily focus on fueling during the bike so that you don't need to fuel a lot on the run. I'll also probably be doing electrolytes, actually definitely doing electrolytes. These are the LMNT unflavored, and doesn't taste awesome. I'm going to tell you straight up, because it is unflavored. But it gives you 1,000 milligrams of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and there's no citric acid in the unflavored one. So if you struggle with reflux, you could do the unflavored. The Paleo Valley electrolytes, the watermelon flavor, also doesn't have citric acid, but it probably doesn't have as much sodium as this, so you might add additional sodium. Sodium is really important during an endurance event to make sure that your muscles can keep going and you don't cramp up. So I really like Huma gels. They use great ingredients, and Huma has some reflux friendly flavors. So the apple one I really like. It's almost like an applesauce. This one is great. Also the blueberry one. This does have citric acid though, so if you're more sensitive, I would probably go for something like, I don't have it in here, but I have it in my cabinet. It's actually the untapped maple fueling. It's literally just pure maple syrup, no citric acid. That could be your fueling during like a marathon, during a long race. And I do have the link for it on my recommended products page. So all the products that I recommend for reflux and digestive issues down below in the description on my recommended product page. So I'll probably do a gel every like 45 minutes when I'm on the bike, and then hope that I don't really need the fuel during the run. The run is only 6.2 miles. The bike is only 25 miles, and the swim is about a mile. So in total, the event will probably take me like 4 to 5 hours. So it's long, but it's not like crazy long. Today, I'll be having lots and lots of carbs and salt. So having some pretzels. These are just regular salted pretzels. This is gonna help me carb up today, so that I have lots of energy stored in my muscles in the form of glycogen. Lots and lots of water. We are staying at a cabin tonight, so I don't know what the water situation is going to be like. So I'm bringing lots of water, and I'll probably have some protein shakes. These are the Owen protein shakes. It was really easy to travel with, make sure I'm getting enough protein so my muscles can recover. Post-workout, I love these. I'll probably have one of these today. This is the chocolate flavor, but they do make a vanilla and a salted caramel that my clients love that is more reflux friendly. I love bananas for race day. pre-race. They're just such a quick carbohydrate source. They have potassium, which helps to replenish electrolytes you might be using really quickly when you're working out. So we'll definitely have one of these before the race as well, probably after. All right, now I'm gonna go on a quick shakeout run. Just gonna be like a 20-minute run to get some blood flow. I am a little bit sore from the workouts I did this week, which is like not what you're supposed to do before a race, but this triathlon for me is not really to like podium or PR. It's like truly just me conquering my fears. I am terrified. I was terrified of open water swimming. I was terrified of riding a bike. I literally didn't know how to ride a bike, and Nick had to push me in Golden Gate Park and teach me how to ride a bike. So for me, triathlon is just like conquering my fears, doing things that scare me, doing things that I thought I couldn't do. And so I'm just gonna go and enjoy the race. I'm not really trying to like push the pace or place in my age group or anything like that. Not putting pressure on myself like I did for High Rocks. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a little run, shake out the legs, and I'll see you when I get back. So it is now 1:38 and I have been just eating carbs on carbs on carbs all day. So that bowl was mostly just protein, vegetables, a little bit of fiber. That will probably be the last fiber that I have today. I'll probably try to keep it a little bit on the lower side just because tomorrow is going to be an endurance event. My coach recommended that we cut fiber by 11 a.m. today, but I'm used to a really high fiber diet. So I think that it's going to be fine. And like I said, it's not going to be like my all-out effort tomorrow. So if you are someone that struggles with stomach pain or diarrhea or any sort of digestive issue when you're doing endurance, you probably want to be really careful around fiber before your event and the night before the event. So we're getting ready to go, packing up, and we'll probably stop and get some food along the way. We're going to pick up our rental car and hit the road. So we are an hour and a half into our drive to this area of California, which I said it was Napa, but it's actually a lot further than Napa. We're basically in the middle of nowhere. And I was looking on the map to try to find somewhere to eat, and literally there's like nothing that's right off the highway. And this was kind of our best option. I have actually never been to Chick-fil-A, believe it or not. It's not that I think this is like a great option, but it's really the only place that we had other than like pizza places and 7-Eleven. So we were stopping here, and I did find a reflux friendly option that I think is kind of the best option on the menu if you have reflux. I had Nick get me the kale salad and some grilled nuggets, so it seems like a pretty decent high protein option. I also had him get me like a small side of fries just for some carbohydrates. Since it is a fried food, I'm probably just going to try to keep it in moderation so it doesn't bother my stomach. Probably have like 4 or 5 waffle fries. And yeah, I'm going to need more food than that though. I'm probably going to have also a bar, some of our snacks, maybe another mango stick. And there is a CVS right there too. So I'm probably going to go in and get some pretzels and maybe some extra waters or something like that. But yeah, hopefully this is helpful to you if you find yourself in a similar scenario. We did it! Didn't get too much footage because you have to leave kind of all your stuff in the car, set everything up at transition, but I did get some footage at transition, so I'll show that. But really happy with how it went. It was a smaller race, so the mass start at the swim wasn't intimidating. Felt really calm in the swim and happy with my effort level on the bike, and then felt good on the run. I started out a little bit too quickly at like a 7:42 pace and then started to have some cramps, so I had to slow down for mile 2 and 3, but then was able to pick it back up for the last few miles. But it was really fun, and I feel accomplished that I was able to have fun during it, which was really my goal, was just to be able to, you know, not be afraid. I was so afraid of the swim and the bike, even like 3 or 4 months ago. The idea of the swim and the bike was terrifying, so really fun to enjoy it. I definitely would do it again. We're headed now to a Japanese spa in Glen Ellen. It's called the Gage House, and hopefully some dinner. Nick and I just had some breakfast at our hotel and we're getting ready to pack up, but thanks for following along with my triathlon journey. If you saw some of my earlier videos, you would have seen how I literally didn't know how to ride a bike. Nick had to teach me how to ride a bike, and I was terrified of swimming, absolutely couldn't swim. So I hope that this video shows you that, you know, it's really rewarding to do things that, number one, scare you, and number two, that you thought you couldn't do, and that you are your biggest limitation. Our minds are our biggest limitations, and if we just take bite-sized steps, just one step at a time, we can accomplish really, really big things. So if you're working towards a fitness goal, a health goal, any kind of goal, just drop it down below in the comments so we can support each other. This community is incredibly supportive, and thank you for being here. If you're new here, definitely check out all my other videos on nutrition, recipes, gut health, and reflux. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a weekly upload that can help you optimize your gut health, prevent reflux, and support your mind-body health. I'll see you in the next one.